Mr. Secretary, since part of this is also called Returning Global War on Terror Heroes, what we're doing, many of the wounded war on terror heroes seek care at our nation's outpatient centers, vet centers. Did you get a letter from, were you in receipt of a letter that was signed by 53 members on a bipartisan letter to you, sent asking you to get back to us, expressing, it says, we urge you to address these issues immediately. In addition, we'd like you to know what actions are planned to meet the staffing crisis at the VA centers, how much funding or federal resources would be required to fully staff the vet centers over the next 5 years. I was just wondering if you were in receipt of that letter.
Could you tell me the date on that, Congressman?
April 27th of this year.
I don't know the answer, but
Okay.
I'd see if I.
Well, you know, I share Mr. Baker's comments about not getting a response. Here's the genuine concern that I have. You know, we sent this letter out, and I know we're going to have a hearing on this later, and you will, as I probably get a little of my freshman exuberance here, but with the shortage that we have at our vet centers across this nation, I cannot for the life of me imagine why $3.8 million is being sent out in bonuses. We have 600,000 backed up claims. And yet, when you came to us and asked on the general operating expense account, you asked for less money than 2007, which was a cut of nearly $9 million. So your comments about the VA having all the money it needs must be reflective. And let me just say this to you. It would seem to me that I don't know why our veterans have to err on the side of having to wait 177 days to get a claim adjusted. If these things are adjusted because, as you said, quote, they were based on performance, I would suggest to you, Mr. Secretary, that the person in charge of that's doing a miserable job and did not deserve a $33,000 bonus. That said, I think our veterans are the ones that should have the burden of proof. Shouldn't be put on them. It should be put on us. If you file your income tax and you send it in, you're audited. You're not assumed to be a cheater. Our veterans are sitting here waiting for benefits that they want. I listened to Mr. Baker talk 15 months for Gulf War veterans, 15 months. And the answer to him is, well, we don't know, maybe another year, maybe another year and a half. My point is this, I may be new here, but I have listened to VSOs come here, I've listened to our Filipino veterans come, I've listened to vet after vet come and spouses of veterans come. I will tell you this, 177 days is inexcusable. To get it down to 145 days is not doing these veterans what I would consider to be a big favor. I think it's disingenuous. I also just want to say candidly, from my perspective, we don't have enough money for our veterans in our budget, and you don't have enough staff. You don't have enough polytrauma units. Your doctors have testified that you don't. We don't have enough people that are working in these clinics. I have 4 outpatient clinics in my district. I have a vet center, 1 block from my district office in Moline. I worked for a member for 23.5 years. I know what post-traumatic stress is. The VA is woefully unprepared for the number of post-traumatic stress veterans that they're going to have coming back. So you'll have to pardon me if I don't share your opinion that you have all the money that you need and that you are completely staffed up to what you have. The fact of the matter remains, if we make a promise to veterans, and it makes no difference to me whether I'm a freshman on this committee or whether I've been here for 25 years, as long as I sit in this chair, my responsibility are to those men and women who gave everything they have for this country and they come back and we don't even have the DOD talking to the Veterans Affairs. You have the Walter Reed scandal that goes on. Our records are sent out left and right. I think that what we need is an overhaul here. I'm not happy with the way our veterans have been treated. I've made that very clear. And let me suggest to you that I think we need to really get down to business here. If we really got to put our veterans first. And that, to me, with all due respect, Mr. Secretary, from my perspective of sitting here in the 4 months that I've been here, just has not been the case. I've listened to the DAV, I've listened to paralyzed veterans, I've listened to the VFW and the Legion come before this committee. I've had someone tell me we're too late to come. I don't think it's ever too late for a VSO to come to this committee and ask for money that we need in the budget. And if the answer is the money, and the chairman has said before, all we're asking for is for the Veterans Administration to tell this committee what is it